I think we have to be careful not to dig such a deep groove of experience into our spirits and our psyche that we just keep repeating the same trauma over and over again. I'm not saying we're the cause of the trauma. I'm saying our spirits kind of seek it out because it's validating to have it happen over and over. Like, see, I'm always the victim. This always happens to me. And I think any kind of relationship with a narcissist is going to dig a very deep groove. So, my mother, who is an addict as well as someone with narcissistic personality disorder, or appears to have that, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I have a master's in counseling and I have studied more on the cluster B personality disorders, and the DSM-5 is the 6 out now. I don't think much has changed, but I'm pretty much an expert the way many of us have become experts, even if it's just watching a ton of YouTube videos and becoming very well versed in their behaviors, and the pain it causes is just part of her life. Ugh. But because she was ill and I initiated hospice, she's not dying. I mean, she's old, but she's not dying. But she's entitled to a certain level of care, and it was quite a few weeks, what, 3, 4, 5 weeks of agony, because I had to be over there at the house, listening to her speak, the shushling and chushling that cuts into me like you're splattering acid, like one of the aliens from Aliens, just like, and it's the acid, like. Not only is that painful, but the way she undermines me, the way she lies. She was actually saying to them, I wasn't sick. And we're all looking at each other like, then what was the last few weeks of our lives cleaning up after you and dealing with you, and you not wanting to eat, and you not even being able to sit up or feed yourself? Whatever happened? It's irritating for the new people coming in, but for me, it's repeating deep-seated childhood trauma where, because I was so young and I was dependent on her, I believed her. Oh, I guess she didn't. Why would mommy lie? Because mommy has a disease is why. Because mommy's sick, that's why. But you can't admit that to yourself when you're so little. So, I did the autoplastic response. That's what they call it. This isn't a statement piece. I'm trying to sit on it so that it becomes a statement piece. It's very pretty. Yeah, where I blame myself. It's so much easier to blame ourselves. That's something that maybe we can control. How? By punishing ourselves with addicted behavior, or cutting, or self-harm. They're probably going to flag the video now because I mentioned those things. Don't think I didn't do those things. I most certainly did. Well, food was the more convenient drug of choice. Actually, it wasn't, because I had to sneak every morsel if I was going to eat behind her back. And then when I moved out at age 23, I ate and ate and ate and ate and ate until, I was dangerously obese. So anyway, now that the big trauma of the past few weeks is over, all her aids hours have increased. There are nurses coming to dress her wounds. She even gets a home health aide from hospice. It's just an hour a day, but better than nothing. I can see her less. I can go over there less. My responsibilities have been fulfilled. The temptation actually was for me to go over there and see how she was doing. Which would have... How is she doing? She's probably fine, because none of her aides have been texting or calling, and thereby causing myself a lot of pain. So I did a brief stop in just to sniff around, like literally make sure the place was clean. Just keep an eye on things. I was in and out in under like 3 minutes. What the next step is to not feel guilty about it. You people who have been able to go no contact, I envy you. I know that's the healthiest thing for me. Can't do it. I won't turn my back on her. I also don't want to lose the house, which, if I just signed it over to a nursing home and threw her in, I'm done, I can wash my hands. I just won't. But it can't be at the expense of my, physical, spiritual, and mental health. Can't. No contact is probably the best, but low contact is pretty freaking great. When my beloved best friend was still alive, he did a lot of taking on the responsibility of going out to eat with her and shopping with her. And I don't know why he felt responsible for her. Was he living there without paying any of the rent in the beginning? I don't know. He had to be rescued out of a desperate situation with a terrible spouse who was abusing him. But he took the heat off of me for years. A saint and a martyr. Truly a martyr. He passed away in September. But it allowed me, it was like taking a rock off of my neck, but I wasn't healing. I just replaced her with other abusive people who were just like her. Thank God I became aware of my participation in this awful dance of being the victim of a mother with narcissism. And am now getting the help I need to heal. But just going lower contact was not enough. That deep groove of decades of being abused, it's like nature abhors a vacuum. It will fill in the space that you've created for the space you create. When you remove whatever the thing is that's harming you, it has to be filled somehow. Best to, fill it and then like cement over it so nothing can come again. But, because we're human, and if we don't learn new ways to be, new behaviors, owning our part in it by perpetuating the pain, by continuing to allow people to crap on us, having no boundaries, continuing people-pleasing, helper-fixer, overly helpful behavior. Oh, I can help. And don't even call it Christianity. God does not want you to overdo it and to treat helping and fixing and charity like a habit, a destructive habit, like an addiction. God doesn't want that. Oh, but I'm so much better at giving. Well, then there's something wrong. We got to work on it. We have to be able to receive too. That's healthy. We need to fill up our cup of what? Joy, happiness, togetherness, so that it overflows. We can't be constantly giving from an empty cup. So yeah, I literally walked on eggshells when I lived home with her. Okay, there weren't eggshells on the floor, but I tiptoed. I've told you this before. I tiptoed around the house. And when I moved out, my abusive roommate, he stole from me and things are bad. Anyway, not a boyfriend. No, just a supposed best friend. Noticed. He's like, why do you walk on tiptoes? I'm like, I don't walk on tiptoes. Talk about not being self-aware. He's like, you walk around the house on your toes. Fat as I was, I tiptoed. Why? Because I wasn't allowed to make any noise at home. And so it was just a habit. It was a survival mechanism. It was something I did to not get screamed at. And that kind of just erodes. That erodes our sense of self. Wait, I found this on, was it Twitter or Insta? Wait a minute. Over time, do you like my neon aqua glasses? They're fantastic. Over time, you find yourself living more and more on their terms. This could go for a parent or, a significant other. It is what they want to do, how they want it. You don't even know how you got there. You just know you have to adhere to their demands or you will be punished or have to pay the price. Your life becomes all about the narcissist or pathological person or addict, and less about you. You find yourself feeling like you are being erased. It's like a bad sci-fi movie, but it's real life. You keep feeling like you lost yourself and you have no idea how you got there. Maria Concilio said that. And then somebody tweeted it on Twitter. Yes, after decades of being erased, who are we? That's tough. I mean, I could tell you things I do that I think I am. Well, I'm a professor and I teach and I'm an author, Diary of a Fat Girl. You should have my book by now. Help me support me. My videos aren't monetized, so could you buy Diary of a Fat Girl? It's a very good book, according to people who have read it and gave me fantastic reviews. So how do we move forward so we can break the generational curse? I'm sure my mother's mother was quite the personality. I know she was a Bible thumping Baptist. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm a Bible thumper myself. You never hear me thump. I might have to make a new channel just to thump a Bible. But yeah, she was very, charismatic. I guess she spoke in tongues. But she made them afraid. Thunder was God mad at them. Oh, he must have made God mad. Listen to the thunder. She's very heavy accent, spoke mostly Italian, 11 kids. What kind of nurturing attention could she have given them? My mother talks about her oldest sister, May, raising her. I believe her. And I remember her oldest sister, May, my Aunt May, pulling me aside one time and saying, Mom isn't like other people. I don't remember what else was said. I was too young to understand, but she was trying to let me know my mother was mentally ill and that she had always been this way, and that she was a troublemaker and she hurts people without knowing. I wish I could remember Aunt May's exact words. Started young. Her behavior started young. If her older sister's telling me about it. There's no accident that my mother, of 11 kids, she's the only one left alive. It's because I have given so much of my life force to her. And I need it back now. She's almost 100. How much more of myself can I continue to give until I frickin' disappear?